Okay, guys, on June 4th, 2017, I traveled to Portland with a couple Proud Boys and a Kekistani. We got there late Friday morning, I think it was, something like that. And turns out the whole damn town, the whole city was arrayed against us, which we kind of expected. This was roughly 2 weeks after the incident where Jeremy Christian murdered two people, almost three Good Samaritans that came to the defense of a young woman. And the mainstream media, lawmakers convinced everyone that not only was Jeremy Christian a part of our group, despite being disavowed, despite being kicked out from Patriot Prayer groups and Patriot Prayer rallies, they convinced everybody that we were coming there maybe for revenge, whatever. That we were white supremacists, neo-Nazis, coming to Portland to take over Portland, and the whole damn town came out to resist us. We were surrounded on all four sides by thousands of Socialist Worker Party people, Antifa, angry Portland citizens, and it was just nuts. So what you're seeing right now, this is like much later in the day, probably 5 hours later, I'm guessing, if I remember right. And Antifa were on the second story parking structure. I think they were throwing stuff down. I don't really remember. I'm not sure. But anyhow, so the police started shooting them with these guns that shoot, I don't know, CS gas or pepper balls or something like that, mace. I don't exactly know what it is. So the people wouldn't come down, so they would shoot them, and people that could crawl down would crawl down, or the police would come down and come up and bring them down. So in this particular area, I think they detained probably 5 people. I don't know that any of them actually got arrested. The couple you see right there, apparent boyfriend, girlfriend, they were later released. But it was interesting to see that people were trying to convince the cops of everybody's innocence there. They would ask, oh, what are you doing there? You're not part of that demonstration, right? Right? Okay, cops, let them go. Let them go. They're not part of it. So apparently they didn't have enough proof to prove anything, so they did let them go. But so I spent the entire day walking around, filming Antifa, taking pictures like I always do. And what I wanted to know is, why didn't they, or were they willing to go across and just talk to Patriot Prayer, talk to the patriots that were organized in Terry Strunk Plaza? And Antifa, to a man, basically told me, look, if we go over there, doesn't matter that it's in the middle of the day, doesn't matter that the police are there, they will murder us on the spot. And I thought, okay, these guys obviously went to the same indoctrination meetings. They're getting the same rhetoric. Wherever I walked around, it was basically the same thing. Antifa saying the same thing. So I went over and talked to, I don't remember what street whether they were on, but I went to talk to some of the socialist people and asked them kind of the same question. Said, the other side, those guys over there pointing towards Patriot Prayer, said they just want to talk. They want to open up a dialogue. That's all they're talking about. They want to open up a dialogue. Why don't you guys go over there and just talk to them? And they believe the same thing. They believe that if they went over there, they would be attacked, possibly murdered, regardless of police presence. And I talked to like a full spectrum of people there. Younger people, I talked to, a couple that were probably in their mid-60s or so. They all said the same thing. They all believed the same thing. And I know that they could not have been in the same kind of meetings that the Antifa were in, indoctrinating them. So, but just to make sure, then, I talked to some just what appeared to be average Portland citizens that were walking around, or citizens that were gathered watching, that didn't necessarily seem to have a big part in the protest. And, they were telling me the same damn thing. So the only conclusion I can draw is that lawmakers, city officials, and mainstream media had whipped everybody up into a frenzy, believing that neo-Nazis, white nationalists, whatever you want to call us, that we were going there to invade the city and do who knows what. I can't imagine. But they all seem to believe it. And any violence that happened that day, the mainstream media has got to take some kind of responsibility for. Because if it wasn't for them, I am sure that we would not have had so many people arrayed against us. That was just, it was crazy. It really was crazy. Yeah, the first indication that I discovered that there was going to be a problem was the sheer amount of propaganda and police presence that was there Friday afternoon before the rally.
Good work, guys. There's violent white supremacists in the other park. But you guys are over here.
Now, I don't know if you could hear what that guy was just saying, but just talking to the police saying, yeah, good work, guys. You know, there's violent white supremacists in the park, and you guys are over here. I think he went on to say, you know, arresting innocent civilians. Whether or not they were innocent, I have no idea. But he wasn't the only one. People were pissed that the police were not going after the so-called Nazis in the park at Terry Strunk Plaza, but they were harassing innocent citizens, and they would include Antifa in the innocent citizens. So that was pretty much the feel everywhere. People were very angry at the police. Why are you protecting Nazis? Why are you arrayed against us? Well, they're arrayed against you, you dumbasses, because you're the ones that are throwing glass bottles. Your group are the ones that got caught with dynamite prepped, ready to throw into the crowd, bricks, other weapons. I mean, the stash that they got from Antifa groups before the two clashed was just incredible. I mean, the way that the Patriots were packed into that one park, you know, you throw one stick of dynamite and you've got 300 dead and who knows how many casualties. So they were there for business. They were there to make our lives miserable. And fortunately, you know, Portland police actually did their job that day, which, you know, if you look back through all the different rallies and things over the entire year, most of the time, police let people fight it out. For whatever reason, I don't know the strategy. Same thing happened on December 9th when I was there. Police just let us fight it out. Then after the fights were over, then the police swooped in, separated everybody. So that guy right there, one of the guys you saw on the ground, he was detained and released along with the female that was with him. Don't know any circumstance. I thought I had talked to him. Maybe it's in another video. I thought I kind of did a semi-interview or at least talked to him about what happened. But maybe not. I don't remember. Been a while. So anyways, I appreciate you guys watching. This is kind of a throwback to Portland, June 4th, 2017, and the Patriot Prayer Freedom of Speech event. Guys, please like, subscribe, and share.
Your servant I live. Will you give it to me? It seems what's left of my human side is slowly changing in me. Will you give it to me? Looking at my own reflection with so
Justice for Tiny!
Justice for Tiny!